I'm afraid I'm going to go a long time, but I will. First, I know Lauren was able to thank everybody, but David and I just want everybody to know how much we appreciate you being here to celebrate with us. So, yes, Paige, I am a Peloton rider. And I love my Peloton. And it is something I'm very passionate about. And every year, I participate in the Pride Rides. And I do this in honor of this beautiful girl and those beautiful girls. So this year, I was lucky enough to get on Dennis Morton's Pride Ride. And I knew if I got on, it was going to be amazing because he's the most inspirational trainer. And he always tells an incredible motivational story. So I got on his live ride, and he did not disappoint. About 35 minutes into the ride, he began to tell a story. And it was amazing, the emotion I had, which I'm emotional anyway. But it related to my journey with this beautiful, beautiful girl. And I want to share it with you. Some of you have probably heard it, and I'm hoping that this story might open one person's eyes in here that have their eyes closed. And maybe for somebody else, they'll see themselves as beautiful as they truly are. It's the story of the Golden Buddha. A long time ago in Thailand, there was a temple, and the only thing they had in this community was a giant statue of a golden Buddha. And they got word, they got advance notice that a neighboring nation was invading, and they got together and they made a plan. They decided they were going to cover the Buddha with mud so nobody would know it was gold. So this community of monks got together, and they covered up the Buddha with mud. When the neighboring nation invaded, they looked at the big stone Buddha, nothing here, so they moved on. But the community continued to occupy the place for generations. And generationally, people forget, and all they thought they had was a stone Buddha. Then one day, a young monk was sitting on Buddha's knee meditating, and we got up to leave, a little bit of the mud cracked off. He looked under it, he scraped it, and he couldn't believe what he saw, shining in the sunshine, bright gold. He went inside and he got the rest of his community, he yelled, "The Buddha's gold, the Buddha's gold." And they came out, they looked, they saw, and they started grabbing their chisels and their hammers, and they started pulling off all the mud. And they realized there had been something gold inside the entire time. When we are little, we are born knowing, connected. We are born feeling like a part of a community, connected to the light, connected to ourselves. And gradually we go to school and they tell you boys do this and girls do this. They tell you these kind of people do this and these kind of people do that, and they don't mix. We start to feel that, and we start putting mud all over ourselves, and we start to cover up the gold. And over time we tend to forget, as we get a couple generations into our skin, that there was ever gold underneath to begin. But somebody comes along, and whether intentionally or otherwise, they knock a little piece of that mud off, and they show you the gold inside. And once you see that glimpse, you will never be satisfied with anything else. Somebody came along, and they knocked a piece of mud off of Lauren, and she never looked back. And it didn't matter how much mud I put on Lauren. She kept going. It didn't matter how often I covered her with mud. She never looked back. And there's some people here tonight that I have to thank, because while I was busy covering Lauren with mud, they stood by her, they loved her, and they always saw her shining, beautiful gold. Aunt Joan, please stand up. My brother Gary, please stand up. Amanda, please stand up. My brother Tommy, please stand up. Give me your hanky. Shelby, please stand up. My Aunt Amy, please stand up. My brother Alan, please stand up. Michael, please stand up. Her dad, Mick, please stand up. My mom, please stand up. My son, Connor, please stand up. I love all of you. Thank you for loving Lauren when I was so busy covering her with mud and not seeing her for who she was. Thank you. I'm not done. You can sit down. Evan, please stand up. Amber, please stand up. Skylar, please stand up. Bree Jacobs, please stand up. And Gina and Meredith, please stand up. You guys kept coming in my life. So when I didn't see this one for who she was, you did. You kept showing me the love and the brightness. And I know, sis, you haven't been there from the beginning, but I want you to stand up. And Michaela, I want you to stand up. And I want to tell you guys something. First, I love you. You are like my kids. And you will have people covering you with mud. And you might have somebody doing it right now. But you let them grieve, you let them be sad, because they will love you. And if they don't look back. Keep moving forward. And always know how beautiful you guys are, because you are so beautiful. And I love you so very much. So, people ask, do you accept Lauren for who she is or how? And all I can tell you is 6 years ago, one night and one little book changed everything for me. So as part of a married group live every week in my house for 2 years, started 8 years ago. And we shared in that group. And I slung mud. And I shared how I felt, because I didn't accept, and I did grieve, and I was sad. And there was one girl in there, and she was so freaking annoying. Literally. She got in my face, and she had no problem. Still has no problem telling you how wrong you are, or maybe you should look at it differently, or are you sure you're seeing it right? Well, one night, 6 years ago, she walked in and she didn't say a word to me. And all she did was hand me this book, The Runaway Bunny. And I never looked back from that night. And I always saw you for who you were. And Paige Blevins, you stand up because you are my best friend. And I love you. And if it wasn't for you, I'm not sure I'd be here right now. You're still annoying. Okay, Lauren Elizabeth. That is your name. I named you that for a reason. You know, there's some people that don't believe in God or not sure about God, but God brought this one into my life for a reason. She showed me unconditional love. Come here. You're gonna do that until I pick you up. You know, I made a lot of mistakes. And all I had to do each time was look at her face and know I had to change the direction of my life. So I had a choice. And I did for you. Because I love you more than all the stars in the sky. And Bree, beautiful, Brianna. Thank you for loving her. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm so blessed you're in our life. And I want to tell you both to look around and remember tonight. Remember what we all witnessed was incredible. Because marriage is tough, I promise.
And there's going to be days you think you hate each other. I promise they're there. So please remember this night, this moment, these people, this journey. I'm just so glad I get to share it with you and watch you guys grow. Don't let anybody come between you, ever. And I love you so much.